name of our best song ever written, as chosen by Paul Moss of Wellington today?
Sure. Manfred Mann's Earth Band. I think they were just Manfred Mann at the time. It's called Singing the Dolphin Through, sung by Chris Thompson.
Afternoons at Radio NZ, we continue our quest to find the best song ever written. Remember, you can add your nominations by emailing us at afternoons@radionz.co.nz or by texting on 2101. But for today, we meet Paul Moss, a new media artist in Wellington. Good afternoon, Paul.
Good afternoon, Simon.
So tell us, where are you talking to us from?
In Karori, next to the Marsden Shopping Village.
And have you always been in Wellington?
23 years now, Simon.
No, I spent 7 years in Australia and several years in Auckland. Grew up in Hamilton in the Waikato.
So moved around a bit. Well, what led you to Wellington?
Oh, my son, I've got to say, he's 23, so he was born here.
And that's a good reason to stay?
Absolutely, that's what I'm here for. But in 23 years, of course, lots of communities of common interest. Wellington's a pretty exciting place for art and music.
And you're a man of many parts, aren't you? A new media artist, visual artist and photographer.
True.
Community outreach, I think, is probably the would be of most interest to your audience. I think
the two areas that I'm working in at the moment, astronomy, public outreach, telescopes, delivering telescopes to the street, Simon, for free viewing of things like the rings of Saturn, and Maui Dolphin emergency. We're actually marching through Wellington on Tuesday afternoon, and then we've got lots of awesome speakers, including the national scientist who has dedicated 25 years of her life to studying Maui and hectares.
And I understand that there's a special concern at the moment with the numbers dwindling.
Well, they say 55, and a few weeks back it was 80, I think 79, and then a few months back it was 111. So it turned out they're statistical means, they're not actual numbers. They've only seen 42 of them.
And so what are you hoping to get out there as a result of the march?
Well, really saving New Zealand's face worldwide. Globally, there's 11,000 people already and climbing about 1,000 a day at the moment, asking for an extension of the marine mammal sanctuary and banning the set nets in their area. It's an emergency, really. We need something done now.
And if people want to find out more about the march, have you got an online place they can visit?
Oh, absolutely. I've just went and got
mauisdolphin.com and mauidolphinnet.net, a whole string of them. But search my name in Google and all roads lead there, yeah.
And so that's Paul Moss. You've also got one of the more interesting websites I've seen in that it says paulmoss.co and nothing else.
That's great, isn't it? And it costs $9.99 US. It's actually Columbia, but Columbia got worldwide permission to use it as a global
domain.
I bet you spend a bit of time explaining to people that it is just in fact .co.
Unfortunately, yes, put my name into Google anywhere and it pops up. I've been quite active sorting that. I think mostly the Aurora pictures on the NASA websites have contributed that, but also the recently the Sabancı University in Istanbul, they gave me a profile site for the ICEA, the International Symposium of Electronic Arts that was there. So those things help, you know. We're blessed, really. We're very lucky.
Oh, wonderful. And tell me a little bit about the astronomy work. So you're getting telescopes to kids who otherwise wouldn't get them. Is that right?
Absolutely. Well, for instance, yesterday I came back from Hurleyville, which is just north of Patea, and there's a school there of 16 children, mostly under 10 actually, and we showed them, they had a sleepover, so an astro camp, and we showed them the four moons of Jupiter. Actually, there were only 3 visible, and the crescent of Venus, because Venus looks like our moon. Our new moon at the moment is right there in the afternoon. It's moving away from Venus, but Venus, Jupiter, and the moon are fairly close together. And we showed them rings of Saturn, about 9 o'clock, just before they went to bed. So that was, and of course the redness of Mars. What I got to say in relation to that is that I work as a campaigner for freeing up the sky from light pollution and particle pollution that reflects light. So don't shine any lights in the sky, shine them down where you need them. That saves energy, saves burning fossil fuels.
And increases your view of the heavens.
Shows what the ancients saw, which means that it's inspiring, Simon. That's the whole idea comes from John Dobson, who's now 95, and he's visited New Zealand several times. He said he didn't invent the Dobsonian mount, but he did adapt it from cannons, and he made telescopes easy to make, and he's been doing it for since the 50s, so 60 years.
Oh, what a wonderful project. And how do the kids react when they first look through telescopes and see the sky in a new way?
Oh, well, actually, I shot some video of that, and I'll be putting that up on various websites. I run one called astronomy.net.nz. It's called Sharing Space. It's about 10 years now. And, well, they can't believe it. So the children actually do believe it because they just accept it, but the adults will say things like, oh, you've got a picture in there.
That's fantastic. And tell me about the song for today that you've chosen for us. It has a bit of a link to what you were first mentioning there about the Maui dolphin.
Sure does, yeah. Singing the Dolphin Through. What I can say is Mann inspired me back when I was playing records several nights a week for a living in the 70s. And Chris Thompson sang that song. He joined Manfred, and he returned to New Zealand in 78, I think it was, and we put the old band back together. First Hamilton rock band. That's kind of a bit funny, isn't it? But and had a performance, and he told us all about his recording and touring with Manfred Mann. So he was our inspiration, which is really why it's so special. Really, yeah. Chris Thompson, ex-Hamiltonian.
Wonderful. And so would you like to introduce for us the name of our best song ever written as chosen by Paul Moss of Wellington today?
Sure.
Manfred Mann's Earth Band. I think they were just Manfred Mann at the time. It's called Singing the Dolphin Through.
Sung by Chris Thompson.
Magic. Thank you very much there, Paul.
Cheers, Simon.